At the beginning of the year, I did a month-long fast. For the first 3 days, I did a dry fast where I didn't take in anything at all. No water, no food, no anything. For the following 5 days, I did a water fast where all I drank was water throughout the week. So for that first week was nothing but fasting, either on liquids or nothing. For every day after that on through the rest of the month, I did juicing, where I did nothing but drink freshly squeezed or freshly juiced juices from fruits and some vegetables. I did that for the rest of the month. The way I feel after I do something like that is almost inexplicable for me. To explain it and to try to tell you how it is, what you feel, what it does to your body and the benefits you get from it is hard to deliver on video. It's even hard to deliver person to person. It's something that one has to actually experience to understand what it does for you. I'm gonna repot my amaryllis that has been dormant for the last however many months, I think since November. It's time for it to come out of dormancy and I'm gonna repot it. And I'm gonna tell you guys why, since doing that fast, every time I eat, I'm not satisfied. Basically, eating makes me hungry. So in the following weeks after that fast, there wasn't many issues because I was fresh off the fast and things were just kind of coming off the tail end of everything that I was doing with the fast, which means that my body was still in the mode of taking care of itself and basically benefiting off the fast that I had just come off of for that previous month. But it's April now. It's April now and I'm starting to see some things. One of the things I want to do is find out what my diet is, the diet that's perfect for me. I'm never really sick in the first place. I got a pretty good immune system, but one that continues to keep sicknesses away from me, one that keeps me feeling really good, one that makes my body heal itself from the inside on out to the outside, which means my organs all the way out to my skin, and one that I enjoy doing. I've been trying all different kinds of things. I've tried full-on veganism. I've tried being a carnivore eater, a strictly carnivore eater, keto basically. One of my favorite ways of eating has been paleo, and basically paleo is just, you don't eat anything that you can't grow or kill. Basically. That's meats and fruits and vegetables. And you try to stay as natural with it as you can, which means when you shop, you stay away from the inner aisles because that's usually most of the processed stuff that isn't natural, right? Most stores on the outside aisles is where you get things that you can either grow or kill. That's your vegetables, fruits, and meats. So paleo has for a long time been one of my favorite ways of eating. Still, something is just not always right with that. Just like when I went vegan, there's just something that just wasn't totally right about it. It just didn't give me everything that I was looking for, all those things that I named off. When I was eating vegan, I just couldn't find the energy. And let me just do a quick disclaimer here. Just because I'm talking about these ways of eating not being a success for myself, keep in mind that I'm only talking about for me. One person's success is not going to be another person's success. I know there are many people out there thriving on veganism, thriving on keto, whatever works for any particular person, that's great. I applaud them, I congratulate them, and I'm happy for them that they found the way for them. But I'm speaking strictly for me. So when I did vegan, something about it, I just couldn't find the energy. No matter what I did, I would change things up and eat different kinds of foods that were supposed to give me the energy I needed, but it just never happened. It was never a success for me. And I did that back in, it's been a few years. It's back in like 2018 or something like that. But, I had to face it. Veganism wasn't for me. When I tried keto, or basically eating carnivore, same thing. I couldn't find that middle ground. I couldn't find that straight path to comfort that I'm looking for in a diet for myself. And so I follow a lot of, health people, and I'm always looking to try, different things that different people are trying, just to rule them out, just to make sure that they are not something that's going to work for me. That's basically what I do when I try these things. I want to make sure that they're not for me so that I can stay away from them. So when I discovered fasting, I was blown away by my personal benefits of it. I now feel that along with finding your perfect intake of foods, fasting is 100% necessary every now and again. If you're doing intermittent fasting, if you're doing some kind of long-term fasting, I feel like it's 100% necessary. And I don't think I'll ever turn away from fasting going forward. But despite how healing that is, despite the benefits fasting has, it's not always going to be something that's super long. You can do it for longer term, but it's not always going to be something that's permanent by itself. So you have to find a solution or a conjunction with fasting somewhere in eating. Somewhere in there, you have to find something to tag along with fasting. And that's where I'm at right now. Since January, I've been looking for what it is that my particular diet is supposed to look like. Now, full transparency, I've gotten super lazy with it, right? Because looking for this way of eating just becomes tiresome. You get tired of doing it and you get to a point where it's just like, I'm doing good by my body right now. I feel good. I can afford to drop the concentration on that a little bit. Well, what's been happening is I've been dropping the concentration on it a lot of it. And what I've been doing is just like just eating how I want to eat. Whatever I feel like eating, I would just eat it. That's not what I want. That's not what I want, and I'm starting to feel the effects of it. One of the major effects is the fact that I'm still not satisfied when I eat. I try to eat to satiation, but I'm never satisfied when I eat. Out of all this not so great stuff that I've been eating, I've gotten lazy on and started eating, none of it leaves me satisfied. So where I find myself is eating once again very soon after I've already eaten. It feels like I'm hungry. That's what it feels like. But when I eat, I feel full. So I'm kind of full, but hungry. It's strange. So what I think is going on is I'm not getting the proper nutrients in order to give my body the feeling of being satisfied. My body knows that I'm not eating properly. It knows that I'm not getting the right stuff. It's responding accordingly. The foods that I've been eating, to be quite honest, they aren't nutrient dense, basically quickie things and things that are just like meant to fill you up, to fill your belly, but not give you the amount of nutrients you need. So one good way to get around that is to actually continue fasting. When I feel hungry in those moments, what I should be doing is not eating. I should be fasting. I've been sticking with kind of a schedule of not eating after a certain time, not taking in food, giving my body a rest, letting it do what it does. So I usually don't eat after about 1800, 6 o'clock in the evening. That's usually about the time where I'm not taking in any food. That's not gonna help if you're not getting nutrient-dense foods in the first place. So I've been sticking to that for the most part, but I've fallen off big time in like the last, I wanna say 3 or so weeks or more. So my fasting period, where I give my body a chance to gather all the nutrients and, go through my fat stores and pick away from that, which is what we should be doing in the first place. I'm giving it something to do. I'm giving it, whatever snack or whatever foods I'm eating, I'm giving it that to work with. So it never gets a chance to balance out insulin, ketones and stuff like that. And it's just throwing everything off. I never feel great when I go to bed after eating after the time I said I wouldn't eat. So I'm gonna use this water that my amaryllis was soaking in the past 24 hours. I don't know what it does, but it's got some green tint to it. And I feel like it's got a little bit of the soul of this amaryllis. So I'm gonna use this water for its first watering. I have no idea if that does anything or not. I'm not a Dr. Green Thumb. I feel like it does, so that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so another thing that I end up doing is helpful, but not necessarily the proper way, is I end up supplementing more. I'm supplementing more now because I know I'm not eating the proper nutrient-dense foods that I should be eating. So now I'm supplementing to make up for that. And that kind of sucks because a part of me feels like it's a waste of supplement because I could be getting my nutrients from the natural foods that I could be eating, and I'm just not. So this is where I'm at right now. I'm at kind of a standstill, and I feel like I'm kind of working backwards with myself. This isn't the way. I know this isn't my path, but I need to get back on it, and I'm thinking I'm going to have to kickstart it with another fast. I'm not gonna bother y'all with it and keep making content about it. I'll probably mention it every now and again, but for me, I feel like fasting is the kind of the key to it all. It's the kickstart of it all. Not only do you get the physical benefits, but you also get the mental benefits. So maybe I can get a lot more clarity on what I want to do or attempt to do with my diet if I try to figure it out while I'm fasting. Maybe. So I just noticed I lost my backlight. Oh well. So these are my amaryllis. I gotta get some water on this one. I'm gonna get these out in front of the window so they can start getting their sun. and maybe I'll let you guys know how this ends up turning out because they get some really beautiful flowers. But anyway, that's where I'm at with this whole thing. Eating makes me hungry, really aggravating, and it's annoying. It's frustrating. I'm getting ready to have my supplements now because I need to go shopping and I really don't have anything that I can nourish myself with. It's 10 o'clock in the morning and I don't have anything. So I'm gonna grab these supplements and maybe have a nice nutritious meal later. I got some B12 here. I got some K2. I have a really high quality multivitamin. It's really important that you get high quality supplements and a bunch of vitamin Ds. These are the things that I've discovered that my body needs the most. I also do some magnesium at night, which is great for helping your body to relax. And I think that's about it. I have a few other things that I use on occasion, like plant-based protein and stuff like that. But that's where I'm left at with figuring out my diet. I am a work in progress. I will figure this out hopefully and find out which way of eating and nourishing myself is best for me. Because right now I just don't know. But I do know I love these flowers.